Hey everyone, Kelly Weber with the Bergen Realty team here with none other than my business partner, Roger Tashjian. Roger, thank you for being here today and jumping on.
No problem, Kelly. Always great to be with you. So for today's call, we're going to wear a different hat.
I was
While I,
just going to say, we are going to be talking to Roger, the councilman in Oradell, and not Roger, the realtor.
yes. So I want to give all residents an update as to what's happening with the PSE&G projects that have really been going on in town for almost 5 years. Um, it has allowed us to pave the majority of the roads in town on PSE&G's dime and has really allowed Oradell to improve its roads. And at the same time, we're improving our gas service in town. In
So
a,
can you, I was just going to say, I want you to talk about that. So PSE&G is paving the roads on their dime, correct?
that is partially correct. Okay.
Okay, all right.
So the overall broad picture is Oradell as a town has a 7-year moratorium on road openings, which means that when we pave a road, it's 7 years before anybody can put a shovel into a
The
road
ground.
and create a seam or an opening. The exceptions would be a sewer line break or a water line break. Those would be the exceptions to the rule, but require approval. And there are definite terms that require how it is put back together. It may
And
require,
those are emergency situations.
correct. And it may require an infrared system that comes in and heats it and creates a good seal. But as residents, it is the single largest line item in our budget is to pave roads. Okay. And then obviously salaries and health benefits, but by departmentalized, it's the single largest line item of what we do.
And are you doing every road in Oradell?
It's not every road, and I'll continue to talk about that as
Okay,
I get into some details. I know you're jumping the gun a little bit on me, but
sorry.
Kelly,
I'm
great
used to
questions.
interviewing, so
No, great questions. And so we started this project about 5 years ago, and it was started in the Latch String area of Oradell. And so if you drive through Latch String, you'll see the majority of the roads have been paved. There are a handful that we haven't addressed, and we're actually looking to do those roads in this year's Oradell road budget.
okay.
Okay. So last year we moved out of Latch String and we moved over to Beechwood, Merritt, and Demarest and Hasbrook and Bergen Boulevard in that area of town. So you'll notice that those roads have been dug up and there's a trench that runs down half the road. Okay. We are not going to be paving them until the spring. And we're very distinct in doing that because we want those roads to settle. So when you start disturbing dirt and gravel and sand, and especially in some of those areas like Elm Street, where when they built those houses in the 20s and 30s, they just tore down trees and left the trees to rot. It's one of the reasons why we get some of those sinkholes on some of those roads. So the longer we can let the construction of those pipelines settle, and I love to have them sit over a winter. And I hate to say this, the harder the winter, the better for those areas. But
Absolutely. I mean, you see some of the roads after the snow plows and everything come through, so it's good to have them settle. I like hearing that.
yeah. So, we actually deferred PSE&G from doing it now until the spring. And, we have a very strong relationship with PSE&G, and they give us some flexibility to do those things. So that area will be paved in the spring, and I'll feel very comfortable having almost a year of settling that those roads will be in good condition, because when they come through, they're going to mill off the top 2 inches, and then they're going to re-put down 2 inches of new asphalt. We want to make sure that there is a solid base on that so that those roads can last 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the reality of it. So the exciting news is starting on Monday, we have another new project starting. And I'm just going to kind of rattle off some of the roads that are going to be done in this new project. So Taylor Avenue, parts of Schaefer, Fletcher, McKay, Elizabeth, High Street, Beatrice, Reese, Prior Court, Elliott, Stewart, Elizabeth. Well, actually, Stewart. No, take that back. Stewart's not. Stewart's actually going to be paved on a DOT, which is a whole nother budget from the state.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's going to be a part of a separate project.
But the area you're talking about is basically over by the high school.
Correct. Correct. And I can continue down, it also includes Beverly, Waite, and Argyle, which are
Okay.
3 roads that desperately need to be paved. And we had actually targeted them last year for the town budget. And then when PSE&G approached us on this, we're like, oh, time out. We're not going to lay our asphalt down if we can do it on their asphalt. Okay. So we very much look at roads that need to be done, and then we coordinate with PSE&G, because if we pave a road on our dime, 7 years. And that includes PSE&G can't come in for 7 years.
And do anything.
Well, they can. The difference is they have to go curb to curb.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
Versus right now, it's curb to center line if the road is more than 7 years old. So what we do is we then pay the other half of that. Okay. And there's some handshake agreements in there with PSE&G, but the reality is I was driving through Oakland the other day to show a client a house, and half the road looked beautiful.
And the other
Half
half
the
was a
road
mess.
was breaking apart. But the worst part of the road was the seam where the old asphalt and the new asphalt meet.
Net.
That's where water gets in during rainstorms and winter and forces the road to crack. And that's the reason why Oradell will never do curb to center line paving. We will always go curb to curb because the longevity of the road is intact and it's in the
Right.
best interest. So we have been very proactive in our capital budget by embargoing dollars to pay for the other half of the road when PSE&G paves. Okay. And so we've
So it's
been,
like we're getting it for half price.
it's even less than half price
Okay.
because PSE&G already pays for the mobilization, and essentially all we're doing is paying for materials. So
Oh,
we're
wow, that's
essentially
great.
paying like 38 cents on the dollar. And it's a great relationship and it's very beneficial. And frankly, the roads are what give you people's first impact on the town. So when
Yes.
our roads are in
Agree.
good condition, it's very positive impact on the town. And, you and I can speak from a real estate viewpoint that Oradell is an extremely desirable town. And I think it's because of the services that,
Right.
Oradell is providing, and it's the presentation. And, look, we had a little bit of an issue with a major storm this year, and, that really taxed the DPW. But as the DPW is getting back to normal, whatever normal is, now they're going to start refocusing back on fields and weeds and grounds and everything so that, we're at a level that as residents of Wardell, we would expect it to be at.
Right. And let's give a shout out to the DPW because during that storm, I mean, they were working around the clock. I mean, they were doing everything in their power to
Unbelievable.
help. Unbelievable. And I know there were some things in town that fell by the wayside, but again, some of these trees, I mean, I have trees on my block. I mean, my God, if they didn't come and take them down, I mean, it could have damaged even more.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they are a godsend. And, their slogan is, the silent arm of safety. And, because most people think police and fire, it's the back end of that is the DPW. And, so they maintain the safety and, God bless them for all they did during that storm. And I'll also, you gave a shout out to the DPW. I'll shout out to them also, but I'm also going to shout out to the dozen or so towns that actually provided additional resources to help us get cleaned up. And you may have seen, trucks in town from Emerson or Harworth or Lodi or whatever it may have been, because there were literally a dozen towns that assisted in various phases. And, it doesn't cost Oradell a dime for that, other than
That's
really a
awesome.
thank you and a handshake. And, I'd like to think that we'll do the same for
I
them.
was just going to say,
And so
absolutely. One hand washes the other, and I cannot imagine Oradell not jumping out.
be all over
You
it.
know, right, right.
No questions asked.
So, well,
So
that's
with
great. I
that,
mean,
that's
I
kind
think we
of an
need to do
overview.
more of this, Roger, because I think a lot of people in our town don't understand things like this. And I think it's great to get that out there.
It is one, and I will always do these with you, Kelly. You know that I make myself available. I just did one the other day for a high school student who wanted to talk about Kinderkamak road safety. And, so I'm always open. And, for nearly 12 years that I've been a councilman, always make myself available to any resident. So
Well, listen, we're definitely going to have to talk about Kinderkamak road safety on another one because that's another whole topic. I think we need to start talking, to our residents in town to slow down. I mean, there are kids out there, there are people commuting. I mean, anyway, that's a whole other.
yeah,
uh,
you don't have enough time for me to talk about pedestrian.
exactly.
So, but thank you for your time, Kelly. I
No,
appreciate
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And have a great rest of your day. And
it.
thanks for keeping us updated on what's going on in the community.
My pleasure. Have a great day. Take care.
Thanks, Roger.
All
You
right.
too. Bye.
Bye.